Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we should discuss Chinese students. If you're interested in teaching ESL or you've been doing your interviews and asking about Chinese students and they've been telling you that they are the best students ever, you definitely want to stick around for this video because I want to debunk some of the myths about Chinese students. Without any further ado, let's just get right into it. So, when I was doing my interviews, I already had 3 years experience in South Africa, and South African students are a different breed. We had quite a few problems at my school, at least with just behavior and discipline and homework. So I was worried that maybe I'd find the same things here. So I would ask to make sure that I don't deal with the same things here. And I was always told that the students here are very different. They are disciplined, they are well behaved. I'm not going to have problems at all. Of course I get here and that's not the case. One thing I'm going to say is children are just children. A kid is a kid. So you're going to get good kids, you're going to get kids that are maybe too hyperactive, you're going to get kids that are resistant, you're going to get kids that are just rude, even here. So like, children are just children. There's no different. Like, in my own opinion, that is not so humble. I just feel like a child is a child no matter where they are in the world. So that's one thing. Don't expect to find Chinese children to be like ships and just listen to you and do whatever you would tell them to do. That is not going to be the case. And also, I'm basing this on my experience. I taught in a high school and I'm teaching in a middle school now. It's the same thing. They are children, they behave like children. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they are not good, sometimes they are excellent, sometimes they are not. They are children. So before I get to the negatives, I think I want to start with the positives, the good things. So what's good about Chinese students according to me and my observation? I think they are it's easier to discipline Chinese students as compared to how hard it was for me to discipline children at home. And I think that it has to do a lot with just society here and just the parents. They're still very, I'm not sure if afraid is the right word, but they still honor their parents and they're still very afraid of their parents. They're still afraid of the principal. It was not the case at my school in SA. So that helps a lot. The society and the culture here helps in that aspect. The parents are very involved. So you find that because the parents are involved, it helps with homework, it helps with just the child's progress. Or if not the parents, then the grandparents are involved. So you're not just teaching a child that is neglected in a sense, even though that's another different topic, because sometimes they do complain about their parents being too busy, but they do have their grandparents who are very involved, who fetch them from school, take them to school, attend meetings. Parents want to know, even if the parents are busy, but they still want to know about the grades and stuff. So the parents being involved for me is a plus. I love that. But I do not like the fact that the parents are they are helicopter parents. They are in your business sometimes, especially when I taught in a kindergarten during the summer at one point, I think in 2020 or 2021, I can't remember, 2020. And the parents, they were crazy. Before the classes would start, they would be lingering in the windows and checking how things are going. I hated that. So I think with younger students, they're even more involved. So it's just a culture of people who are involved. They want to know what is going on with their children. So the teachers are also respected in society. Teachers here are like respected in a sense that your job has dignity. You have dignity as a person. And in SA, that is not the case. And I feel like it makes a difference if teachers are respected, because even the students are going to respect the environment. The parents are also going to respect the teachers and treat them with the respect that they deserve. It makes a huge difference even in the classroom. If teachers are not respected, even in society and in the community, it does affect the classroom as well. It has an impact. So yeah, that element is what I love the most here, that teachers are respected and given the respect that they deserve. It's just my favorite thing ever, to teach and be appreciated and be seen. That's like everything to me. The schools are also well equipped. There's resources to teach, so it makes teaching very easy, and it makes it fun in a sense that if you need maybe whatever you need, a lab, you're a science teacher and you need a lab, it's there and it's fully equipped and it's functional. If you need a sports ground that is functional, you have it there. If you need a huge hall to have maybe debates, you have that there. If you need something that is not ready available at school, then they can get it for you. My school does that. I don't even want to get into that with the public sector at home in SA. So that also helps a lot in the classroom with struggling students. If you need more resources, you can get that. So it helps that the schools want you to have the resources that you need. I've only taught in private schools also here, so maybe I don't really qualify to talk for every school, but I've been exposed to schools that have resources, and that's been my favorite thing. And now let's get into the maybe not so positives. Children here have massive mental health problems. It's crazy sometimes. And you find that because they have so much pressure, they need to get straight A's. It's a society that says you either get 100% or it's nothing. So they are very stressed, and sometimes they take that out on you, especially as a foreign teacher. They are very afraid of Chinese teachers, but sometimes in my classes, I'm a very liberal person in general, but they do try to take advantage of that, and then sometimes there's boundaries and stuff. So there's that element of mental health. They will act up, they will be rude sometimes they will break down. I've had one person really almost have a breakdown because of a very stupid thing. But sometimes you will have students who have anger issues. It's really crazy. It's not directed to you, but they're dealing with these things, and it takes a toll on everyone in the classroom, because now you have to attend to this person who you care for, because they're a kid, especially in a middle school. They're a kid and they need to be loved and listened to. So that can be very difficult. It can be challenging when you have to deal with just mental health issues outside of the teaching that you really are hired to do. So yeah, that sucks. So here also, you end up teaching special needs kids. Now, this is a very difficult one, because you want to love and care for everyone in the classroom and try to make everyone feel heard and seen. At least I do. But with special needs kids, you need to do that 10 times more, because they really are special needs. They don't belong in your classroom. They need more care, they need more attention. You don't have that. In my school, I only have 40 minutes per lesson. And if you have a special needs kid, or more than one, because it happens sometimes, it's frustrating, because they do presentations a lot in my classes, and the ones that are special kids, though they have special needs, rather, they struggle, and you trying to get them to a point where to reach the points that are desired by the parents, and trying to be a magician. I can't even explain how difficult it is to teach a child that does not belong in your classroom, and not in a bad way, a child that deserves to be in an environment that is created for them. I've heard that special needs kids don't really have schools here. It's not like a thing, so it makes it very difficult, because a parent is in denial when it's like the kid is not struggling, they're just in a wrong environment and they need a different type of teaching and learning, schooling. This seldom happens in SA, and if it does happen, then the parents are mostly willing to take their kids to the right school for them. So another thing is they will, because the parents want them to get straight A's, you will have to account for every grade you give. So why did I get a 60? Why did I get a 70? Why did I not get a 100? And sometimes the actions on the effort doesn't match the expectations that they have. So they want to get straight A's, and you have to explain why they didn't get a straight A. I don't know how many times I've received messages after they receive their grades or their reports at the end of each semester asking me why I got a 55, for example, or why I got a 60. What is reflected in the world is really not what happens in the classrooms, and I feel like it's not fair on the kids because they will go into a real world where no one is going to fabricate your report. As a lawyer or as a doctor or as a teacher, you're going to have to work for every cent that you need unless you are corrupt. So I always feel like there's this pressure on teachers to always try to do the best and work hard, and the classes are long, it's 8 to 5, and then only to give everyone a high grades that they don't deserve sometimes, most times. So there's that as well, where the grading system I don't agree with as well. And then with privileged students, you do get, I don't know, I'm just speaking from my experience. So because they're privileged and mostly they are the only children, most of them don't have siblings. So they are very entitled and spoiled and can be very ill-mannered sometimes. And you have to deal with that at times with the person who's like, oh, well, I don't want to be in a group because I just don't want to. And you're not going to force me. They don't say it like that, but it's like you have to work extra hard to get them to cooperate sometimes and be nice to other students. What I'm trying to say is they are spoiled, they're privileged and spoiled, and it can be difficult to deal with them and discipline a person who is the only child at home, who's loved and cherished by the grandparents in a very different way than what you probably are used to, and that overflows into your classroom and just is a mess. There's basically great things about Chinese students, and then there's things that are not told, the truths that are really not told that we should be telling. So this is me trying to debunk some of the myths we've heard about Chinese students. They're not the worst kids. They are children. They have problems. They sometimes have problems that you've never seen or heard of before, that we don't have sometimes in South Africa because the society is different. So the fact that they always say that they're the best in their breed, you're not gonna have problems. I want you to know that you might have problems, and it's doable. You can fix the problems and you can try to help, but also the school is not going to support you because the school is in the same society of people who don't even acknowledge mental health, or if you have mental health problems, it's like you're crazy. So it's still the same society. You're not going to be helped in that sense. There's the things that are going to frustrate you, the learning issues, special needs students, the schools are likely not to help you with that. It becomes your problem. And how you personalize it, I try not to personalize things in general, so that helps. But I care for the students. I love kids. I love my students. So sometimes it does affect me in that sense. Yeah, I hope this helps. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Just don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I love you.